Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It would have been nice if I called the meeting order, wouldn't it? At this time, I'd like Pastor to come forward and do our invocation. Thank you.
Father God, we pause now to humbly recognize that you alone are the creator and sustainer of life, and we give you thanks. Lord, we stop to recognize that all the resources that we have, whether it be at home or in this community, Lord, they all come from you. And again, we give you thanks for them. Lord, we recognize that you have created each person in this chamber, each person in this community, and each home that people reside. And Lord, they are precious to you. And so, Lord, I pray that as decisions are made here and even as we just go throughout life as neighbors, Lord, may we have that mindset that each person, each neighbor is precious to you and should be precious to each one of us. Lord, give us your heart and mind. Give us your wisdom to these leaders that have been elected. And may all that is said and done here glorify your name. We ask for your blessing to be upon this community, upon the churches, upon our first responders, our police and fire. Watch over, keep them safe. Lord, we just give you thanks and praise for your presence with us. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you very much. We do roll call, please.
Trustee Blue? Yes. Trustee Gray? Here. Trustee Holston? Trustee Horn? Here. Trustee Razik?
Present.
Trustee Udris?
Here.
Thank you, Denisha. We'll move on to open to the public. Agenda items only. Please come forward. Well, thank you very much. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Could I have a motion, please, to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
I know about it. Denisha, we're going to swear in Randy. At this time, our clerk is going to swear in our new EMA director, who I'm very proud to have aboard.
Okay, if you can raise your right hand. And after I say aye, if you can insert your name.
I, Randy Ulaskis,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the
of
Constitution
the State of Illinois,
of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
as EMA Director
as EMA Director
for the Village of Monee
for the Village of
to the
Monee
best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Folks, I appreciate that. I just want to let you know it was a long process. We probably had about 12 to 15 people apply for the job, and Randy just stood out. He's got 30 years experience in EMA work, and he's been working hard ever since we hired him. So, congratulations, Randy. Did you have anything else, Denisha? No? Okay. We'll move on to the mayor's report. I have a few things here. Number one, no one called or said anything about the house of the month. I really would like to do that. And I don't care if it's your neighbor's home or what it is. I think it's good we recognize one house even. And no one called. Come on, you guys. Let's get out there and give us a couple of houses we can look at and have the house of the month again, okay? I don't want to drop it, okay? Thank you very much for listening to that. I'm going to ask Johan Fernando to please come forward. I hope the young fella's here right now. Is he here? He is. He's hiding in the back. You come forward too, please. This is Jason Alexander. I'll let you do the talking.
Sounds good. Good evening, Mayor and trustees. Thanks for giving us a few minutes on our agenda today. I'm Johan Fernando. I'm the Senior Manager for Government Affairs for Comcast. I'm very happy to inform you that we have a student from Monee that's been recognized as one of our 2018 Comcast Leaders and Achievers Scholarship winner. And he attended Illinois Lutheran High School in Crete, and he's attending college in Ohio this fall. The Leaders and Achievers Scholarship Program is a nomination-based award. It's one student from every school that can be nominated by the principal or the guidance counselor. Typically, we have about 175 to 185 students that end up through the selection process and get awarded a scholarship through the Comcast Foundation every year. Since we started this in 2001, we've awarded scholarships to about 27,000 students nationwide, amounting to about $28 million. So, Mayor, thank you again for your time, and thank you for making the effort to recognize Jason. And Jason, I'm sure you'd be much rather be hanging out with your friends today, but you attended this event, this meeting, and that says a lot about you. So, congratulations. I know he's received the official award before, but I'm going to give you this right now. Don't try and cash that. That probably won't work. Like this?
You want to open that?
Okay. I'll shake your hand as well. Thank you. Mayor, thank you for your time.
Jason, thank you so much, Jason. We're very proud of you, okay? We need to hear those kind of positive things.
Jason, I did have a question, if I may, Mayor. Where are you attending school in Ohio?
Cedarville University.
That is my alma mater. So, that's very good. I'm very glad to hear that.
I'm
It
sorry.
warms
I'm
my
sorry to hear that, Jason. Okay, I just want to go on to mention something. I like to change the committees yearly, and it's a year has passed and a little more than that. So, the new committees will be Janet Blue will be Finance. Bill Gray will stay at DPW. Doug Horn will be at Parks and Recs. Scott Yerdris will be Economic Development. Anthony Razak will be with Buildings. And David Holston will be with the Police. So just so everyone kind of has an idea who's involved in what. There's nothing on the ponds on the agenda, is there? Okay. We're still dealing with the issue of the ponds, and I might say that Scott has taken front line on that. He's going to form a committee and decide what we want to do about the problems with the ponds. It's a difficult one because we like to let the kids fish, but we don't like the outsiders coming late at night. So we don't know if we want to do no fishing at all. That's something we could do. Do we want to do catch and release? We're discussing it, so it's in discussion. We haven't forgotten about it. There's a problem for the people that live near the ponds, okay, with outsiders. I'm going to use the word invading their property a little bit here and there. So we're dealing with it, okay? I guess I'm done with my report. Thank you all very much. We'll move on to the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Before you in the board agenda packet is item H1, and that is the Route 50 storm sewer replacement. During the installation of the water main on Route 50, it was discovered that an existing 18-inch combination of an 18-inch and a 12-inch storm sewer pipe was under the ground and is causing a choke point for storm water drainage. The result of which, in this last large rain event, closed 2 lanes of Illinois 50 there, and because the water could not be taken quick enough and moved downstream. Subsequently, Superintendent Crizel met with Iroquois Paving, who is doing the Route 50 water main project, and was able to get a pricing structure from them that honored the current material pricing that they have offered us with the water main, and is asking that the existing choke points of 12-inch and 18-inch water mains be replaced with a 30-inch dual-wall pipe water storm sewer, not a water main, I'm sorry about that, 30-inch storm sewer, the total cost of which is $24,675.75. I would like to note that I did hand out the picture that you have in front of you is nothing more than an illustration that shows where the existing choke point is. And you can see that that virtually runs in front of Brian's Place and in front of Monee Liquor Depot, where it takes the water on the south end and it runs to the north. And that entire pipe that is in there now, that 12-inch and 18-inch, is causing a choke point, and that is our problem. So what we are asking is requesting the board to a motion to accept the quote from Iroquois Paving Corporation in the amount of $24,675.75, and authorize the mayor and the clerk to sign any appropriate contracts that would accompany that. One note that I would like to make is that the Route 50 water main project, when it was bid, the bid came in less than the engineering estimated amount, and to date, we are on schedule with that. So there should be some dollars that would be available within that bid scope or within the estimated engineering cost that would allow us to complete this project. And as a reserve, that is within a TIF district, and there are some available funds in TIF as well. So although this was not a planned project, the storm sewer replacement, we feel that it is critical to the proper drainage of and stormwater management, especially along Route 50. Happy to take any questions.
I have a question, Mr. Wallace. The quote says the price excludes all construction layout. Do we have any idea how much that would cost?
We don't. It's done on field work, and that would be any additional engineering work. If it's strictly out and back in, not really a big deal. But if it were to require some additional engineering, of course, we would have to pay for that. We don't anticipate much, if any. The reason being is if you've been out there, it's pretty much a straight shot. There's not much to engineer around, and the elevations don't change dramatically there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have a question as well.
Yes, sir.
What fund would this come out of to pay for this?
Well, if it's out of the, if there's enough left over in the project cost of the Route 50 water main,
Okay.
it would be paid out of that, and that originally was a TIF expense.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Motion. We need a motion?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll
motion,
make that
please.
motion, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Roll call?
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Razik.
Yes.
Trustee Udris.
Yes.
Trustee Blue.
Yes.
Trustee Gray.
I just wanted to mention along Main Street, you've seen some piping. Where's it go from about, that would be, give me a chance here now, Eastgate, I believe, somewhere in there. Am I right, David? Yes. And this is strictly for drainage. We've got some water problems along that area, so we're trying to correct the problem. We're trying to do the right things, but we have a water problem here because we're basically pretty flat. So trying to help the water drainage.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item that I have is not on.
Sorry, David. I
That's
didn't know
okay.
you had-
Is not on your agenda. However, it bears comment, and basically, if you have not are not aware of the Supreme Court decision that deals with sales tax, that would be Wayfair versus South Dakota. Basically, what that decision does is it allows for the collection of sales tax from companies that sell within your state but may not have a physical presence in your state. Historically, that sales type of sales tax has not been able to be collected from the sellers, and it was relied upon the purchasers to pay their sales tax kind of on the honor system when you file your taxes. So with that being said, it's a little more in-depth. I would like our finance director, Daryl Bulliner, to just cover a couple of bullet points, because it takes a few more steps to get us home to actually start to realize some of those sales that take place from companies outside. Daryl?
Good evening, everyone. Quickly, I'd just like to say that Administrator Wallace was correct in that in the past, sales tax was based on the honor system, in which if you purchase a product online, it was left up to that individual to report that tax to the IRS or the state, Illinois Department of Revenue during tax season. However, with the Supreme Court decision being made, it reverses a rule from back in 1992 in which Quell, which was a supply company, was ruled in favor of not to pay sales tax to the state of South Dakota. Now we have the new Amazons and all these other online companies in which sales tax has become an issue. Now the state of Illinois has a rule on the books that states that this could be effective. However, the Supreme Court, the land of the law, the law of the land was that you couldn't force this. With Amazon, Wayfair, all the other online retailers, in order to kind of make competition better for brick and mortar companies, this decision has been overruled, and now it is the law in which you can collect sales tax from online retailers. The question now is, how do you go about doing so? With that being said, Illinois has put in front of the state Senate in which they're going to get a procedure in place to do this. However, it has not passed the House yet, so how they're going to go about collecting these sales tax is going to be somewhat of a debate going forward. The state itself says they collect about 80% of the sales tax, with 20% remaining. And we bring this up to ultimately say that with 80% being collected and an additional 20% out there, perhaps municipalities will begin to see a trickle-down effect of the state sales tax, which at the time is, I believe, about 175 million that looks to be collected from 20% not being reported. So hopefully we can, in the future, see some additional revenues come down to the municipalities.
That's good news.
Yeah, and that's about it. So
Any questions? Daryl, thank you very much.
you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Mayor, that concludes my report for now. Thank you.
Thank you, David. We'll move on to the officials' report. Still your existing community divisions. Public Works, Trustee Gray.
A few things tonight. One, Egyptian Trail, we talked about it the last meeting, the roundabout. They are working on it, but with the recent storms, it's been a little bit delayed. And also, too, that already was in the program. That's not something new that came to the village. So, again, just be patient going around there. I know that there are mornings where they're out there moving a bulldozer and it just takes a few more minutes. Just be patient with us. And, again, that's nothing new that we knew was coming. So it's nothing added to the village, it's nothing on the bills, but just please be patient. When it gets done, as the rest of the road looks, it will look very nice to drive into this town. Secondly, the mayor tried to steal my thunder, he just doesn't know it. On Main Street, the bulldozers are sitting there. Yes, we are redoing the water pipes down there from Ruby to Eastgate, and again, there will be detours during the day. Just if you are driving there, be patient, watch out for the workers out there. They're just trying to get everything done. That's what they get paid for. And yeah, I got you. And also, too, the Monee Consumer confidence report is available on the village website, which is villageofmonee.org, CCR 2017, which you can go there and look at the browsers, and you're not going to like what I'm going to tell you now. Our infamous water bills, you can check those out online too. And again, we all pay them, we all are in the same boat. But again, just be patient. It's that time of season as far as the construction, and we're doing our due diligence. We're not, we're all paying it, and we're all planned on this, so, end of report.
Thank you, Trustee Gray. We'll move on to Parks and Rec. Scott?
Okay, a couple things. For those that didn't have a chance to make it out last Saturday night to the swing dance night, I just wanted to take a moment and thank Trustee Horn and Diana Kroll for an incredible evening. There was a great turnout. We had great music, a lot of dancing, people from all ages out there dancing, and it was so nice to see the community come together. So hopefully we can look forward to another one and get more people out to enjoy that. Coming up, we have a Kids Day that's going to be Saturday, July 7th from 10 to 1. Again, with some activities including touch a truck, water balloon launches, slip and slides, bouncy houses, face painting, and a whole lot more. So the Park District is in need of volunteers, so if you'd like to come out and help the kids have a good time, please give Diana a call at the Park District. July 13th, at Fireman's Park Building, there's going to be a job fair from 10 a.m. to noon that is being put on by Workforce Services of Will County. Fall Fest, just to start getting on your calendars, is going to be September 7th to the 9th. And again, we need your help. So any community organizations, residents, anybody that would like to volunteer, please start to block your time for that. There will be a meeting that they'll be putting together to kind of help get that organized coming up. So. Other than that, keep watching the calendars, Facebook, everything else for all kinds of activities, and please come out and join us. Thank you. End of report.
Di, may I ask you, I believe we have a schedule of events in the building here, right? When people come to pay their water bill, they can get a copy of that. Am I right? Yeah, so that does exist. So you could even grab one tonight as you walk out. Should be on your right-hand side. You can get all the activities that are going on. Okay,
Excuse me,
yes.
1 second.
Yes, sir.
Going back to my report, I'm sorry. I was, again, the same thing the mayor was talking about, hard copies. There is a hard copy of this consumer's report also at the front desk that you can pick up on your way out. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to finance. The chairman of finance is not here. Do any of the committee want to make any statements or anything? I mean, I think we're in good shape. That's a nice thing to say, isn't it? Okay, so we'll move on to economic development. Janet?
Yes, I just want to check with Trustee Gray that he doesn't have anything else to say before.
I did appreciate dancing with you Saturday night, the
I'm
swing
glad,
dance.
that was fun.
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome. So several things. First of all, I wanted to report back on the Select Chicago tour. As you know, I reported at the last board meeting that Kevin Daly, our Economic Development Director, was on that tour representing Monee with potential investors. The tour went through, stopped at Matteson, Richton Park, University Park, Park Forest, and of course Monee. Our Mayor Pop, joined the tour when they stopped for lunch and talked to potential investors about filling the gaps we have in our municipality. So that was very good to hear. I understand that a building permit has been approved for the property being built on Ridgeland. That's good news. They're moving forward with that. And I wanted to end with some good news as well, that at the Zillow Home Value Index reported that home values in our zip code have gone up by 7.6% in the last year, and they're predicting it will go up by 7.1% in the coming year. So that's very good news. End of report.
Thank you, Janet. We'll move on to building services. Doug?
Good evening, everyone. A few announcements. A part-time code enforcement officer has been hired. Ray Plumley has been added to our team. Mike Thompson, who is part of the team, he had surgery, was successful, and he is at home recouping. Seamus Construction is preparing plans to begin another new home, which is good. And then Phase 4 of Bailey Ridge, their permit was issued today, so I'm assuming they will begin construction very soon. And that is on north on Ridgeland. And if I may, I just wanted to make a comment on the dance we had Saturday night, and thank you for your kind words. It was actually the whole team did a wonderful job. Of course, the trustees approving such an event, and I think they were a little bit nervous about what is this going to happen. We had a couple goals with that event. Number one, to bring the community together. It succeeded in that. Number two, to bring old and young together. It succeeded in that. Number three, to bring people who had never been to our village and see what we're all about. And probably about 15% of those people there were from other villages, never been to Monee, and seeing what we're all about and seeing the roundabout being built. And number four, I think, I don't know if I said this, it was a family-friendly event. There was kids from, I think, really young to seasoned citizens, as I like to say. So, and thank you to Diana for really doing all the legwork for that, and I am very happy to be working with her now as official in charge of Parks and Recreation.
That end of report,
That would be the end of my report, yes.
Thank you, sir. No problem. We'll move on to public safety. I believe that's Anthony Razak.
We got one thing from the police. The May 24th shooting investigation is continuing with officers waiting on crime lab reports and the state's attorney's review. End of report.
Okay. We'll move on to our lawyer, Larry. If you
Thank
may.
you, Your Honor. I have seven items for the board's consideration. The first item is an ordinance repealing ordinance number 753 relative to the crime prevention rental housing ordinance. It's up for the board's review and consideration.
Could I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Second?
I'll second.
Second. Discussion. I do want to make a comment about it. I want to applaud the group, our trustees, and the people that were involved with this, the police chief, fire chief, David Crizel, the administrator. We did everything we could legally. Larry helped out. So it was a task, and now we've got one, so that's a good thing. Anyone else have any comments? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razak?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
1863.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next item is an ordinance establishing a residential rental licensing program. This ordinance basically takes the place of what we just repealed. It's been, as the mayor indicated, a lot of work and effort by everyone involved, but it's up for the board's review and consideration.
Thank you, Larry. Could I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion.
Or second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Razak?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
1864.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next item of the board recalls, we went out for bid on property, I think it's lot 3 and lot 6. We did receive one bid from Northern Builders. That bid was accepted at the last board meeting, I believe, subject to a contract being submitted by them, a formal contract. At this point in time, there's an ordinance for the review by the board to approve the execution of a contract subject to the substantial form, and the price was already established, so it's up for the board's review and consideration.
I have a motion on that, please.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razak?
Yes.
1865.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next item is an ordinance to purchase property from Franciscans Alliance for property at Egyptian Trail and Monee Manhattan Road. We've had several discussions with the council for the, used to be the St. James property. The contract's before the board. We do have 6 months to review it with respect to the property and the condition of the property. This money would be coming from the TIF district, I believe. We would have ample time to look at soil boring tests and see if it's doable, but it's up for the board's review and consideration.
I'll make that motion.
Second? Any other discussion on that? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Holston? Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
1866.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next item is an ordinance for a variance for the property located at 25646 Governor's Highway. I believe the zoning board met last week and gave approval for this request for the sign. I believe Dr. Sheets is here tonight in case there's any questions, but it is a newly developed business, and again, the zoning board had a public hearing and approved the request by Dr. Sheets.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Janet.
I'll second.
Any discussion on it? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
$1867.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next item is we received a request to approve an assignment and assumption of redevelopment agreement with Bay Ridge number 4. Does not affect us per se. What it is basically they're assigning their rights for lending purposes. All we're doing is acknowledging the assignment. It does not increase any responsibility from the village's standpoint, but they need approval to authorize Mayor Pop to execute the same.
Could I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. And the last item is an ordinance to purchase property at 5649 Court Street. This property went up for back taxes. We've been told we can purchase said property for less than $1,000, subject to the property being demolished. From what I understand, it is in extremely poor condition, but it did go up for tax sale, I believe, 3 to 4 months ago, but we did talk to the agent. They're willing to sell it to the village for $1,000, subject to, again, us demolishing the property. So it's up for the board's review and consideration.
Could I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Second, discussion. What this does is prevents us from, what's the word, David?
Going through condemnation.
That's right, going through condemnation, which is saving the village a lot of money. If anyone has any knowledge of the home, it is a total wreck. There's all kinds of animals living in it. It's an eyesore. It's overgrown with shrubbery. You can't even hardly see the house. Holes in the roof, doors wide open. It's we're very glad to get it so we can tear it down for the price we got. So anyway, any other discussion on this? Not roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
1868.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you, Larry. We'll move on to old business, creamery lease.
Mr. Mayor, that's going to remain on the agenda for one more meeting. We will bring a finalized lease before the board at the July 11th meeting. Thank you.
And we have Lynn Lane and Margaret Street water main and storm sewer bid.
Mr. Mayor, that was brought before the board at the last board meeting for a consensus. This is a water main replacement mixed with some storm sewer replacement, and it is a bid where there were 7 bids that were submitted, the high being $388,148.53 to the low bid of $263,630. Tyson Engineering, on behalf of the village, has submitted their letter of recommendation of award, and along with the tabulation of the bid results for your review. And staff is requesting the approval and acceptance of the bid submitted by Brandt Excavating Incorporated in the amount of $263,630 and no cent. I would like to comment that this amount of the low bid is 20% below the projected engineering estimated cost of $330,000.
Can I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Trustee Raisik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
The next item is the McCorkle Outlet, proposed building. I would like us to table that till at least our next meeting, till we get further information. We want to be sure we do the right thing for all parties involved. So I'd like a motion to table this.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on that? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Raisik?
Yes.
Thank you guys very much. I just want to tell you all the stuff we passed. Believe me, we do our homework before we go through our committees. The committees are great and suggest things to us. We spend a lot of time. Believe it or not, they earn their money. Okay. Okay, we'll move on to new business, open to the public, non-agenda items. Anybody has anything they'd like to talk about? Please come forward.
James Dermody, 26057 Ruby Street. Is the board aware of any progress on getting the people out of that house on Cardinal Court where the incident occurred about a month ago?
Were you here at the last meeting, sir?
Yeah.
All right, you know the owner of the building was there. I don't know. Does anyone else here know if she's moving to get them out of there? That's a very hard thing to do, but I think with that serious of a situation, Scott, would you have any input to something like that?
It is a civil matter, sir. We would not be involved in it, and I can only go by her word that she was moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really difficult with rental units, and that's why we just passed an ordinance to try to put some more teeth in it. Okay, the laws, go both ways for the renter and the owner, and it's pretty tough to get someone out. But boy, oh boy, that should be one that should be recognized. I hope it.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. On the ordinance you just passed, when does that become public?
Immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
So
Right now.
we can get it online?
Once the mayor signs off on it, sir, and yes, it'll be online probably within, we'll send it to the codifier, but you can get a copy probably tomorrow.
Okay.
But it would be available
All right.
immediately.
Thank you.
I sure understand your concern, sir. Any others open to the public?
Hi, Chris Scott, 6430 Lakeway Drive. Just wondering if there's been any further discussion on the proposed third truck stop. It's been a while since we've heard anything from Thornton.
I'm going to let David handle that.
Yes, we have had just minimal conversation. I believe that there may be some preparation going on their behalf to make a presentation to the board. to the village rather. And if they decide to do that, and when they do that, it will be first before the Plan Commission. So it'll be a public meeting at the Plan Commission, and it will be advertised in the normal manners that we, post the
So,
agenda for Plan Commission.
On the website? You
It
can-
will
we
be
can
on there,
watch
yes,
for it.
ma'am. Yeah, they'll
Okay.
post the agenda
All
up
right.
there and everything, okay?
Thanks.
You bet.
Anyone else for open to the public? Yes, sir.
Excuse me, I just wanted to let you know that the ordinance that was just passed is actually on the website already. If you look under there for the board packet for the agenda for tonight, it's on there already. You're welcome.
That's why I commend the people here. What she's telling me is she's going to do her due diligence very quickly. Thank you, Denisha. Okay, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to close the open meeting, and we're going to go into executive session on collective bargaining, 5I LCS 120/2, C2, and purchase of or lease of real property, 5 ILCS 120/2C5. So it may not be a long time in there. I don't think it will, but you're fine to stick around. Don't forget to pick up anything that's on the wall over there. A lot of people fail to look there, and there's a lot of information. Thank you all very much for coming.
Motion, Jimmy?
Motion.
And
I'll
now I need